the Blue East. You know what Voice of the Blue East.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio. Every Wednesday, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin mista sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Ipag the Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
Susunod na ang Kuwentuhang Bayan sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo, Katipunan.
Tara na't simulan ang inyong umaga sa mga magagandang refleksyon tungkol sa ating buhay at pananampalataya. Kasama sina Father J. Boy Gonzales at Father Nono Alfonso ng Kapisanan ni Jesus, Binibining Risa Singson Kaupeng ng Feast Magazine, Father Fiel Pareha mula sa Archdiocese ng San Fernando, Pampanga, at Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Dito sa Kapet Pandasal sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Ang kamino ng ating buhay. Ako si Risa Singson Kaupeng. Magkapet, pandasal muna tayo. Si St. James the Greater ay isa sa 12 apostles ng Panginoon. Isa siya sa pinakaunang sumunod kay Jesus nang siya at ang kapatid niyang si Juan ay tinawag ni Jesus sa tabi ng lawa ng Galilea. Isa rin siya na saksi sa mga importanteng pangyayari sa buhay ni Jesus, like the Transfiguration, the raising of Jairus' daughter, and Jesus' prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane. Pwede natin isipin siguro na mas close siya kay Jesus kesa sa ibang mga apostles dahil sa mga nasaksihan niya. Si Santiago ay naging martir sa Jerusalem noong 44 AD at dinala daw ang kanyang labi sa Espanya. In the 9th century, his relics were discovered in what is now known as Santiago de Compostela. At mula noon, milyong-milyong mananampalataya ang naglalakbay sa tinatawag na Camino de Santiago. Isa yan sa bucket list ko na hindi ko pa nagagawa. Pero sabi ng mga ibang nakagawa na ng Camino, maraming pagninilay at pagbabago sa sarili ang kanilang naranasan sa mga kilo-kilometrong kanilang dinaanan. It's a journey where you rely on God's power, lalo na kapag paltos na ang paa at hapo na ang katawan sa kakalakad. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 7 says, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us." Para daw nakita mo na ang langit pag abot mo sa Katedral ng Santiago de Compostela pagkatapos ng maraming araw ng paglalakad. Gaya ng kamino, ang buhay spiritual natin ay isang paglalakbay. Sabi ni San Pablo, we can be hard-pressed on every side but not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. Mahirap man ang pinagdadaanan natin, we know that Jesus will never leave us and He will welcome us at the end of our earthly pilgrimage. Let's pray. Saint James, pray for us on our spiritual journey. Help us to persevere through trials and remain steadfast in Jesus until we see Him face to face. Amen.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Sa Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng buwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayon, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, kaning giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan, ang Socio-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kuwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan.
Magandang umaga mga kakwentuhan. Welcome sa isang natatanging episode ng Kuwentuhang Bayan, ang official radio show ng Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan kung saan lahat ng kwento ay may kwenta. So bago po natin simulan ang ating kwentuhan ngayong umaga, no, alam naman natin na for the past days, grabe yung epekto ni Krising, ni Emong, ni Dante at saka yung hanging habagat. At ito ay nakapagdulot ng malalang epekto sa Luzon at iba't ibang parte din ng Pilipinas dahil sa malalang ulan at saka pagbaha. At dahil dito, bago magsimulan yung kwentuhan natin ngayong umaga, hinihikayat namin ang aming mga kakwentuhan na magbayanihan ang aming kasama sa SGSA, ang Tanging Yaman Foundation para sa agarang pagtugon sa pangangailangan ng mga komunidad na lubhang apektado dulot ng tuloy-tuloy na pag-ulan tsaka pagbaha. So maari po kayong naka-flash po sa screen ninyo at ibang-ibang QR code tsaka mode po kung paano kayo tumulong, paano kayo mag-donate. So pwede pong GCash, BPI, Maya, Metrobank at maaari din po kayong magbisita sa Tanging Yaman Foundation na Facebook page. Nandun po lahat ng detalye kung paano po tayo makapagtulong sa lahat ng naapektuhan sa for the past week ng iba't ibang baha at ibang epekto ng dulot ng Dante, Krising, tsaka ng Emo. So maraming salamat po at inyong pagiging bukas palad ay nakakatulong sa pagpapalakas ng ating kababayang patuloy na naapektuhan ng kalamidad. So, Maraming salamat po at hopefully pwede nyo pong, pwede ding magtulong sa iba't ibang channels ninyo. Pwede nyo tingnan ang mga official Facebook pages ng iba't ibang grupo na meron pong mga efforts sa lahat ng naapektuhan. So yun. So bago tayo magsimula, no, kakamustahin muna natin at introduce natin ang ating mga kasama sa kwentuhan ngayong araw. So ngayon, ang ating episode po ay dahil Ignatius Month at so aalahanin natin dahil this Sunday na din ang province-wide celebration, no, ng fiesta ni Ignatius. At para sa akin personally, parang favorite saint. Favorite saint, my favorite. So, kaya feeling ko parang special din na episode na ito for me personally kasi parang exciting for me, no, pag-usapan yung what has been the lessons ni Ignatius, no, and how has Ignatius affected our lives? Kumbaga, kung may mga cannonball moments din ba tayo sa ating buhay. At maaari din pong mag-participate ang lahat ng nakikinig, no? Nakaabang po kami sa comment section. Pwede din po kayong sagot sa mga iba't ibang question na pag-uusapan namin with our guests for today. At sa akin, no, as we introduce kung sino ang ating kasama for today, special din sila for me. Wow, personally. Dahil parang naging kasama ko na din sila sa, we may not have grown together like, parang hindi ko man sila kababata, pero siguro isa sila sa mga kino-consider ko that I have grown my faith with. So parang kasama ko na din sila at kalakbay ko sila in trying to get to know Ignatius, trying to deepen my faith. So ayan, so wag na nating grabe, nawawala na talaga ang aking Tagalog. Kasi kausap ko ay mga Bisaya. So challenge namin ngayon ay hindi mag-Bisaya. So ayan, papakilala po natin sinong mauna ang ating mga collaborators in mission. So una, ayan to my alphabetical order. Yes, Dikel. Okay, go. Pakilala muna kayo.
Hello po, maayong buntag sa tanan. So pwede magbisaya. Hindi. So I'm Dikel Dagok. Currently connected with Ateneo Junior High School, a teacher, CSIP teacher, but my connection with Ignatius was rooted way back in college. So from CDO, so hi sa mga taga CDO, Chada Cagayan. Shout out. So from college sa Xavier University, so I was taught about St. Ignatius through our formation programs and then through the organizations I'm with. And then after that, so yun nag-work and then was yung discernment. So I went through discernment process as to what I would want to be in life. Kaya nag-volunteer through the JVP, Jesuit Volunteers Philippines, for 2 years and then became program officer. And then I was also connected with, I was assigned in PJPS, so another social apostolate, the Philippine Jesuit Prison Service.
Nangongolekta na social apostolate. Lahat
So
ata.
I am a volunteer of PJPS for 11 years now. So parang reclusion perpetua yung sentensya sa akin. So 1 year as a JVP, 1 year as a staff. So the 9 years were really a volunteer. And then also volunteering with SLB, yung Bukidnon Mission, and other apostolates where, I can offer service and my time
Ay,
while
may
also doing.
pa-offer. Ayan, shout out sa mga social apostolates na nakikinig. Oo.
So yun po muna. So later on, we can discuss more
Yes.
about that.
Okay. Next, ang ating second guest.
Hello, good morning. Maray na aga.
Gabay. Di din siya
Oo.
papatalo.
Not from CDO, but I do speak Bisaya. I think people got confused na din somehow. Oo. So, yun, I'm from Naga and I got my, parang introduction to St. Ignatius back when I was in college. Like in CDO, may 2 semesters din kami learning about the life of St. Ignatius. So, yun, from college, I got involved more in the Jesuit mission through JVP, where I was assigned as in Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan. Tapos yun, even after leaving the institution, the SLB as a volunteer, somehow, I try to find time in volunteering sa ibang partners. I remember biglang pumasok lang sa utak ko yung Mary Chell. It's one of the partners of JVP that time. So when I was in CHED working, parang I really try to, parang I would find something else to do than my work. So I remember going there. Yun, still a volunteer in SLB even in the past years. And right now, I am with Ateneo's Office Formation and Identity, where we brainwash. Joke lang.
Ay, grabe yung term.
Not really
Alam na,
brainwash.
shout out sa mga ano.
Hindi. O yeah, ano din siya, parang kami din yung opisina na nag-introduce ng Ignatian spirituality because, well, Ateneo as a Catholic and Jesuit institution, it's really important that everyone is really, not really on board. Everyone is really on the same page. So parang somehow kami din sa office, we take it as you have your personal why in coming to Ateneo, and so Ateneo also has its why. So kami, we try to meet those whys, your personal why and the Ateneo's why. So yun, through Ignatian spirituality. So ano din, to accompany really the employees and to help them deepen in the whole context of mission while they're here in Ateneo.
So parang sa introduction nga nila na parang nabanggit iba't ibang apostolate. Parang JVP, SLB, because you've also worked and volunteered in SLB. Bukidnon Mission District sa FLMFI. Alam naman nila na nahihirapan talaga ako mag-pronounce ng Father Leone Mission Foundation. Meron din PJPS. Ay, alam ko participate ka din sa mga blood drive ng PGH. Diba? So parang with the apostolate din, chaplaincy sa PGH. So parang iba't ibang apostolate, social apostolate na ng kapisanan ni Jesus dito sa Pilipinas ang parang nadaanan nyo din or na-experience. And parang kumbaga din, parang similar din sa akin, na parang I've been with JVP, volunteered with SLB, worked with SLB at bumalik sa SLB, di na lang umalis talaga, And volunteered din with BMD and other apostolates. So parang kumbaga we can say that we really grew in faith, deepened our faith in Jesuit mission, or really known Ignatius and it's kumbaga been inspired with Ignatius in different ways. So parang yun din yung theme natin for today, na Pilgrims of Hope Together in Mission, na parang how has Ignatius or teachings of Ignatius have really inspired us in our work, or even di lang work talaga, para siyang our life direction in general, na parang di man natin ma-pinpoint specifically, but we know there were some kumbaga cannonball moments in our life that really shaped us, na parang dun tayo napunta sa So, bago tayo magsimula detail, so siguro, kaya ang inyong, sa lahat ng turo ni Ignatius, ang inyong favorite, or parang favorite word natin na favorite today? Yung, siguro pinakamalaking impact na lang, hindi lang favorite, na itong Ignatian teaching na to, or Ignatian principle, ito yung, kumbaga, you hold dear. So, ayan. Bago nyo muna i-explain, so parang sabihin nyo muna, ikaw, Ate Dikel, yung favorite mo na maalala sa lahat ng Ignatius na Ay, nag-iisip. Ayan. Marami daw. Buong spiritual exercises.
Kadami yung social apostolate.
Oo. Per social apostolate, meron daw siyang favorite. Char lang.
We don't play favorites, Char.
Siguro,
gaya nga na nasabi ko kanina, yung Ignatian spirituality and the values rooted way back in college. So, back in college, parang foreign sa akin yung mga terms before, yung mga Ignatian spirituality, Ignatian values. So, siguro yung talagang tumatak sa akin since college up until now na hindi naman sa favorite, pero siguro it's really part of me. It's really yung becoming persons for and with others, to become men and women for others. Really that service to offer as a number 2 sa Enneagram.
Grabe, dinig pa yung Enneagram.
Hindi, siguro yun, that's one. And second, actually, kung pwedeng top 2, hindi naman isa lang, diba?
I think baka top 3 na to mamaya.
It's really the AMDG din. It's because after everything, it's all for God's glory, not for my glory or for anyone's glory. Parang I do everything for God. So, hindi siya madali. Hindi siya talaga madali for me doing these things, but I give everything for God. So, dun din naman yun. So, it boils down to that, to those values. But of course, I also try to live out all the other values,
Grabe,
finding God in all
perfect
things.
attendance.
Magis, of course.
Suki sa lahat ng social apostolates.
Yun, yung mga non-multa sed multum. Pero yun siguro yung dalawa, yung pinaka-tumatak. But yeah, yun po muna.
Ayan, yun muna. Mamaya dadagdagan yan. Ikaw, Roslyn.
Gusto ko magdiretso sa favorite. But to me, I really think it's in my experience also coming from college. I really think ang pinaka fundamental, or for me really the most important, is AMDG. Whenever we would have workshops din sa office, like with the employees, tas pag pinag-uusapan yung buhay ni San Ignacio talaga, to me ang important i-pinpoint would be St. Ignatius did all those great things, lahat ng yon, because of his love for God and because of God. So, to me, parang you can really be great at everything, at anything you're doing in your life. Pero kung hindi malinaw kung para saan yun yung medyo magiging questionable for me. So, parang when you see God as the center of everything that you're doing, mas malinaw lahat kung para saan yung ginagawa mo. Kung mahirap siya at that point, you'll find strength in that. And in so many ways, parang it enlightens you because it's clear that ultimately it's for God. So, yun, parang in all those values, parang when all the Ignatian values sometimes fail, para sa akin, parang hirap niya i-live out, I go back to that. Parang, yun, for the greater glory of God. I realized yun din yung namin, motto sa school, back in college. Primum Regnum Dei. So,
Ano ang meaning na?
Seek first the kingdom of God. Not the exact. Yeah. So,
Atin truth. Chara.
yeah.
Oo,
So-
veritas leverabit vos.
Diba?
The truth shall set you free.
Oo.
Ayan.
So yun yung pinaka-ultimate na feel ko kailangan ko talaga siyang unahin. But I guess kung may favorite talaga, I like the Jericho Contra. In the way na,
Contra.
kasi in our normal lives, nasanay tayo instant, mabilis, etc. And so the impulse, somehow it associates to mabilis. So parang when we react to things, parang madali lang mag-react ng galit, madali mag-react ng visit or whatever.
Ay, a familiar
Diba?
emotions. Chara.
Diba? Pero parang when you're reminded of a Jericho Contra, which means to act against, parang you're invited to step back and to act against those tendencies that we have. So yun, parang ang ganda niya in the context of the world being so fast-paced, instant, etc. It invites you to really pull back from the situation and think of what's the more loving thing to do. It's not just acting against it, parang it's thinking about or discerning on what's the more loving thing to do talaga. Tapos, yun, I remember in one of our sessions din sa workshops sa office, what I really like about dun sa sinabi, may sinabi si Father Bert Alejo about a Jericho Contra, that it's easier to do a Jericho Contra when you know the Ajere Pro. Parang alam mo kung saan ka patungo, hindi lang yung kumukontra ka.
Okay.
Alam mo kung saan yung direction mo talaga. So, yan, to me, I can say na parang, at least for my context, parang my direction is to love God, to be in His service, to be His hands here on earth, parang ganun. And so it's easier for me to really act against the easy tendencies, as humans.
Yeah.
And to do the more loving ultimately. to other people. So yun yung favorite ko. Parang instant siya, even in the small things na ginagawa mo sa mga makakasalubong mo na hindi ka natuwa. Pero yun, when you're reminded that you can act against and think of or discern a more loving act in that situation, then somehow it helps.
Parang it's also a new light for me of what a Jerry Contra is. Kasi parang, I've just read about it parang sabi mo nga na way back in college, parang grabe. Yung life ni Ignacio, may isa kaming libro. Parang isang buong libro, may prelims kami, may midterm, may final. Grabe, may quizzes kami. Kung di mo pa alam ang life ni Ignacio after mo mag first year sa XU, ewan ko na lang sa'yo. Kasi parang grabe yung pagpukpok talaga, no? And really, trying for, yun din kasi ang identity talaga ng any Ateneo or Ignatian education. Really feeling ko yun yung parang edge or kumbaga iba sa kanya in all ways, no? And parang interesting lang no to also hear it from your perspectives kung ano pala talaga itong mga values na to. Ako personally, parang lahat din. Char! Gaya-gaya. As a favorite saint, char. Lahat ng turo, buong libro ng spiritual exercises. Pero feeling ko parang torn ako in between non multa sed multum, no? Not many but much. But also really parang favorite personal prayer ko kasi yung first principle and foundation. I know parang, I'm not sure, no, hindi talaga siya like specific like word or principle, no, but for me it guides everything kasi yung first principle and foundation, no, na parang it's a reminder of what we have and what we are called to do. And parang for me, hindi siya like imposing. Na parang, hindi siya na sinasabi na, dahil mahal ka ng Diyos, dapat mahalin mo lahat. Parang hindi siya ganun na imposing for me. But it's more of trying to realize all these things in your life. And also, ultimately, parang wishing and praying na, di ba yung last line niya na, may I do whatever parang to which I have been created. Parang gano'n na, sana magawa ko yun sa mission na yun. So I think parang yun yung naging gabay ko prayer in all. But really, non multa sed multum kasi parang, especially in our work, no, na sa SLB na parang gusto naming, I think ang pinaka hindi mo dapat iniisip kung working with, I think any apostolate, no, is parang gusto ko baguhin yung mundo. Yung lahat. Gusto ko siya baguhin lahat ngayon. Kasi it really gets so frustrating and parang also parang wala ka ding ma-achieve at some point, no? Kasi parang feeling mo ma-frustrate ka lang along the way na parang bakit wala pa talagang napasang mga batas na gusto ko supportan, etc. Or all of those different political or electoral reforms you wanna see. But really, it's a reminder for me yun, no, yung non multa sed multum in terms of hindi naman kailangan kong gawin. Hindi lahat kailangan baguhin. Hindi siya how many, but really how much, no? Ano ba yung pinakamahalaga sa lahat na yon at kung saan may mas malalim na impact, mas malalim na patutunguhan really on doing things. So I think yun yung mga, for me, parang inspiration or parang pinanghawakan ko along the way. So, ayan. So, sa mga, may mga nakikita ko sa comments, sa mga, fans fans ng ating mga kasama. Ang aming ding mga kasama sa mission, kung, I think this question also goes to, what favorite, principle or value of Ignatius para sa inyo or pinaka-impactful para sa inyo or pinanghawakan nyo in your mission or in your life right now. So, pwede din po kayong magbahagi ng inyong mga favorite na mga value sa aming ayan. So, shout out sa mga nakikinig. Ayan, si Che, si Eves, si Che, we miss you. Ang tagal na nitong hindi paramdam. Char, shout out sa we miss you. Yung mga Ay, si Eves, gaya-gaya siya, non multa sed multum din yung sa kanya. Ayan, so sa lahat po na nakikinig, no, ang aming mga kaibigan kasama sa misyon, kung pwede rin po kayong mag-participate sa kwentuhan natin. So, i-chat nyo lang ang inyong mga favorite din na mga, how has Ignatius inspired you? So, ayan, I think dito tayo, no, parang mabigat siya na tanong. Pero parang, or hindi mabigat, parang cliche din itong tinatanong in all of us. Pero feeling ko mahalaga din siya pag-usapan, especially on Ignatius Month, no, na parang, so parang sabi nga ni Ate Dickel, no, parang 11 years daw siya sa PJ. At tagal mo pala sa PJPS na nag-volunteer.
Matagal pa sila shoot na nasa.
Ay, grabe.
Equivalent na siya ng Jesuit formation.
Equivalent ng Jesuit formation. Parang feeling ko may nakakasama siya doon na kakapasok lang ng novitiate na pare na ngayon.
Possible.
Oo. Parang ang tagal na, parang ngayon ko lang nalaman, no, kahit parati tayo magkasama, 11 years na pala siya sa PJPS, and then volunteering in so many other apostles. Shout out po sa apostolate. Kung gusto niyo pong ng volunteers, ito po yung dalawa. Willing po sila sa any Jesuit apostolate. Ayan. So, si Che, nag-comment din, finding God in all things. Ay, lahat. Nakikita mo ba si God din sa amin, Che? Challenge yan. Nakikita mo ba si God din sa everyday na kasama mo? Anyway, so, in all of those years, no, why you're still here? Char! So, siguro parang question naman siya tinatanong, no, for all of those who have been in the mission for so long na parang bakit mo pa rin patuloy na pinipili maging parte ng mission? Or I think very specific, no, in Jesuit mission, no, especially with lay empowerment and really highlighting lay co-collaborators talaga in the mission, no? I think parang for me, it's a different question when you ask a Jesuit na bakit ka pa na sa Jesuit mission, no? But I think for you, for example, no, you could have chosen along the way, no? I think it gets it's not all rainbows and unicorns, but I think even with those principles, with those everything, no, why do you still continue to even volunteer? Get someone na you work with in a Jesuit school, but really, why instead of siguro gumala, mag-date, or wala tayong future sa dating na yan. Pero parang, I think doing other things, why do you keep on doing volunteer work in your free time? Parang ganon. Or being really, being part of this mission. So parang, why do you still continue this? Ayan. Mauna daw si Roslyn. Ikaw daw muna ngayon.
Yeah, I guess the quick answer is sobrang watered down kung sabihin ko word, kung gagamitin ko yung word na practical. But mainly because I want to emphasize yung, yes, it's the mission, but also along the way, you're also guided with the Ignatian spirituality. When we talk about mission, to me, it's larger. Hindi lang siya the Jesuit mission, but it's really the mission of the church also. So, mas ganun siya, mas tinitingnan ko siya as malaki. But at the same time, particular to the Jesuit mission, because it's adapting, well, it has the Ignatian spirituality, you feel guided along the way. We have the value cura personalis because that's taken into consideration, or your context as someone taking part in that mission is considered. So, inaalagaan ka sa konteksto ng mission mo, and at the same time sa konteksto mo din as a tao. And I guess that's
parang
why...
holistic siya na approach.
Yes, holistic, not only on the end, the mission, the outcome, holistic also in the process, the way you're proceeding, that the Ignatian spirituality is offering us. So, yun, I guess that's what really important, or that's the biggest gift that I took, or I guess some people also had from Ignatian spirituality. Tapos, yun, really the emphasis on the way of proceeding, how we discern as community,
True.
how we make decisions as a community. Ako din medyo may particularity ako in terms of the process. Kasi sometimes you can really be blinded by the outcome that we want for the mission.
True.
But here, I believe we're always, we try to be in the same page. In every meetings, we try to have kumustahan, check-ins.
So parang process,
We also have retreats. So you're as a person, you're whole as a person while doing this mission. So I guess yun yung parang pinaka hindi matatawaran. The way of proceeding and the holistic approach to the mission nung Ignatian spirituality. But I also want to emphasize that sometimes when people decide to leave Jesuit institutions, sana they don't feel bad because the mission is really larger.
True,
and
true.
that Ignatian spirituality can still be brought somewhere else.
Tama,
wherever
pwede
they
siya
are.
everyday life,
In your
hindi lang
everyday
siya
life, hindi lang sa konteksto ng trabaho.
Tama,
Siguro kung
tama.
nasa Ateneo ka bilang nagtatrabaho, hindi lang din sa konteksto ng mission, but really you bringing that kind of way of proceeding, that kind of spirituality. As someone also who worked in a really secular institution like CHED, parang to me that's one of the really gift that I had. Parang that has become a handle din for me, that Ignatian spirituality, that has become a handle din for me working in a secular institution. So that's a really important gift for me.
Parang gusto ko yung pag describe mo of it really as a gift. I think parang mahalaga lang din siya na we see it or parang see it in that light, no? And also parang seeing really that the process is equally as important to whatever outcome we want to achieve. But really parang sobrang striking for me yung seeing it as a gift. Na ito ay isang something that was given freely, parang presented as parang beautifully or offered, no? Parang ganda kasi ng imagery din ng gift. Ayan. So ikaw, Ate Dikel, bakit ka pa andito? Char.
How many years?
Oo nga, diba? Parang feeling ko hindi pa ako college na sa Jesuit mission na sa Char.
Hindi pa pinanganak.
Grabe, parang feeling ko kahit high school pa siya. Ayan. Feeling ko kung tumatanggap po ang mga eswita ng babae, ito na po. Ito yung first.
For sure.
Oo, diba?
Kung
For sure,
nasa pila,
papasok na to.
Kung nasa pila pag nag-co-ed.
Oo, parang nasa first, sasubmit siya doon na, Father, tanggapin niyo na po ako. Chara. So, ayan, Ate Dikel, bakit ka
Actually,
pa nasa
natumbok
mission?
mo. Yun yung agenda. Gusto mag-heswita.
Gusto niya
Papasok pala.
mag-heswita.
Yun, kung tatanggap na sila, why not? Actually, so yun binabalikan ko yung tanong mo, no? Bakit nga ba? So yun nga, babalik siya sa college. Pero siguro, looking back, the Ignatian spirituality, the values were just venue for me to really express my love. So it boils down, cliche as it may be, but it's actually love. Because parang I felt that love and I want to pass on that love to others. Because I remember yung one of the homilies of Father Jet, yun, JVP din siya, di ba? And former Father President. Ang tunay na pagmamahal ay ipinapasa. So parang it's... kasi naramdaman ko yung pagmamahal ng Diyos sa akin. Despite all the challenges, the problems I've been through in life, I felt that love. I felt that He took care of me through the people I'm with, through my friends, through my family, and everyone. And gusto ko din maramdaman yun ng iba, na may nagmamahal sa kanila, na may handang maglaan ng oras, ng panahon para sa kanila. And gaya nga ng nasabi mo, hindi siya talagang madali lahat. Like when you're busy with work, as a teacher, as a formator, and there's an invitation for you to like volunteer or help in a mission, you have to really discern. Kasi, but at the end of the day, parang tumutugon ako dun sa tawag. Hindi dahil yun napilitan ka and all, but it's because I want to offer that love to others. I want to be instrument of God's love for others, na hindi nila maramdaman na nag-iisa sila, hindi nila maramdaman na nakakalimutan sila, like specifically dun sa mga mission, like the prison ministry, the IPs, like before din sa Caloocan Mission Station, di ba? We've also had that.
Pala ang Caloocan
before,
Mission
pre-pandemic,
Station.
then, and then sa ibang community. Kasi yun nga, parang ang hirap alam mo yung parang ang hirap na, like for me, manatili lang na wala kang gawin. Like it's for me, a way of really doing something for them. Parang we advocate for social justice, we advocate for all these things, for equality. Pero if I ask myself, did you do something? So maybe at the end of the day, I can say to God, Lord, ito yung ginawa ko. Hindi sa nagbibilang, pero ito yung ginawa ko na mahalin ka. So parang, di ba parang Jesus experienced these things. Parang He offered His time, He sacrificed His life for us. So ito yung parang, it's just the least that I can do. So yun, parang I offer, kasi yun nga parang gusto kong, yun, I also had that messianic complex before. Na gusto
niya pala baguhin yung mundo. Pwede naman din. Pwede naman talaga.
Alam mo
Hindi naman siya bad, no, to have that goal. But I think kaya lang siya naging frustrating pag gusto mo siya mabago in like 1 year. Char, I think yun lang.
Yes. Parang ang hirap, diba? No? Parang, Lord, gusto mong sana maging okay lahat, na everything will be okay. But it's not the reality. And we're far from that. I mean, let's accept that. Pero every little thing that we do could contribute to that. Parang we are only planting seeds na we don't know if it will grow, but we just continue to plant that and hopefully it will grow. So yun yung imbitasyon din sa akin. Kaya kahit na mahirap, 'di ba? Kahit na mahirap hanapan ng oras kasi nga busy ka din. Like for me, I'm connected with Ateneo Junior High School. I'm with the Social in Christian Service Involvement Program. So shout out sa mga CSIP and of course sa AJHS. Nakikinig. We also, help our students to go to the communities to experience and interact with the different communities. So kasama na din doon yung mga social apostolates at ibang communities. So yun, parang imbitasyon sa atin, paano ba tayo maging tao para sa iba? Kasi paano ba natin maibabahagi yung sarili natin para sa iba? So yun sa akin, parang as long as I'm here, so parang naging venue yung Ignatian spirituality, the apostolates to express that love for others. Kahit iisipin ko nga, kahit umuwi ako ng CDO, I'll still be with, connected with, XU or with the Bukidnon Mission or kung saan man. Kumbaga, parte na siya ng buhay ko. Like, gaya ng nasabi ni Rosin, it's a way of life na hindi din naman na bigay lang ng bigay. Part of that is also, di ba, we also have cura personalis na it's important that we also take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others. And yun, parang imbitasyon din na patuloy na magbigay, pero nandun din yun na, yung discernment din na kailangan mo din punuan yung sarili mo. And isa din sa I'm really grateful for is yung spirituality, di ba? We have retreats, recollections, na parang sino ba sa mga institusyon na, di ba, iimbitahin ka na magpahinga ka, magdasal, kumain at lahat to really take care of ourselves and so that we can take care of others. So basically that. So ako, kahit saan man ako dalhin, so may it be in a Jesuit institution, I think that would really be part of me na to volunteer in any way I can to offer my time or service. Kasi nga, yun nga yung, di ba, parang gusto mong tumulong, wala ka namang resources and pera. So what I can offer are, my time and service.
Ayan, time and service. Free daw po siya this weekend. Sino daw po ako?
So yun.
Ay, province mas pala tama.
So ikutin ng mga social apostolates. So basically,
volunteer magligpit.
Pwede. Pero yun talaga, it's because I am love and I wanna pass on that love for others so that they can feel God's love also.
Para siyang expression talaga of love, no? Parang because love is overflowing, kumbaga, para sa kanya na parang siksik-liglig at umaapaw siya. Hindi mo siya maano. Parang, so I think I also parang love so much of that, love so much of that imagery na hindi dahil kumbaga na because you wanted, parang, di ba parang gusto ko yung, kay St. Francis ba yun or something, na parang hindi sa langit mo na pangako sa akin. Pero talaga siya, it's because I have been so much love, I've received so much of it na whatever it may be, whether there may be a promise of heaven or not, pero parang mahal pa rin kita. I think parang yun lang yung naalala ko, no, sa sabi mo na really, why are you parang doing this? Ako naman parang feeling ko, no, of all the years, no, kasi sabi nga ni Roslyn, no, na even though you're not in official officially employed in any Jesuit institution, or even if you're not like even if you're not volunteering anymore, parang there are really some ways personally that you can still practice or live out this ano. So para sa ating mga kakwentuhan, no, if siguro parang question sa inyo din, you can share it through the comments, no, na parang paano mo kaya, parang sabi nga ni Rosin, paano kaya natin nagagamit yung mga aral mula sa buhay ni San Ignacio in our everyday life, na of course there are really holistic siya na para pwede mo siya magagamit in all. Ako siguro parang, for me, why, siguro not staying, but parang continually coming back. Sabi nga ni Ate Marge na parang, kung aalis, kung babalik man daw, kung aalis man daw ako ng SLB, if ever, di na daw niya ako bigyan ng farewell party. Kasi nakapangatlong farewell party na ako at bumabalik pa rin ako sa SLB. And even no, I have been with other institutions, other private institutions, parang, there's always that pull, parang na bumalik. For example, during pandemic, I was not really connected officially to any, but I spent some time with Bukidnon Mission District din. Hello po mga, sana okay lang kayo dyan, mga taga Bukidnon Mission. Makikita niyo sila this Sunday, may booth sila. Pupunta sina Sai, sina Father Marlon at ibang from Bukidnon Mission District. Ayan. So kita-kits po tayo sa Sunday. So I've been doing volunteer work with them, no, na even though I was not officially, at even though na parang meron akong mga away ni Lord. Away ni Lord? Of course, meron naman tayong mga personal faith struggles. Pero I think what really pulls me back, no, feeling ko Saint Ignatius and his teachings have always made me appreciate my faith more. Parang feeling ko mas hindi naman siguro simplified, but really parang mas binigyan niya ako an other perspective on how really to see my faith. Kasi parang, of course, growing up with, I was the type of like, alam mo yung Flores de Mayo, check attendance. Santa Cruz, check attendance. Diocesan Youth Day, Parish Youth Day, lahat. So para akong lumaki talaga ako din sa simbahan. Well, because of my grandmother, my mother has always been active. Ayan yung mama ko. Feeling ko nakikinig siya. Ayan. Active pa rin yan siya sa Mother Butler sa simbahan. So I grew up in that, no? Pero parang feeling ko pa minsan nagiging activity, parang at some point naging routine or activities based siya for me, no? And feeling ko when I got to learn about Ignatius and deeper learning really about his teachings, parang feeling ko mas nakita ko in a different way yung who is my God for me. And parang how can I deepen my faith more? So parang feeling ko ni-reintroduce niya yung faith sa akin. Kaya siguro parang parati akong nahahatak pabalik to it. Na parang feeling ko sa kwento mo, Roslyn, na nakarelate din ako doon sa on how really din the way of proceeding has inspired so much of us, no, na even if nga na you're not connected officially, parang it gives you a sense of like direction on how you deepen your faith, really. And sabi ko nga dati na feeling ko mas nakita ko yung sa shinare pa ni Nietzsche, no, na parang finding God of all things. Mas nakita ko sino ba ang Diyos outside of the altar that I have been participating. Kasi 'di ba parang active in church, we've always been, the church work revolved around the four corners of the church. But really, the Jesuit mission, the call of the Ignatian teaching to really go where the greater need is, to be in the peripheries, to be in mission, to be a missionary, really has made me appreciate, or feeling ko nga parang mas nakita ko ang Diyos sa mission. Kasi though I've seen and deepened my faith in altars, etc., but I think feeling ko mas nakita ko ang Diyos sa mukha ng mga tao sa mission, no? Really spending the time also with, I think, reigniting for me yung Bukidnon Mission District talaga, no? Na parang, feeling ko na reignite ako doon in terms of how, paano mo mas makita at mas, parang doon ko talaga nakita ang Diyos. I think parang, ganon siya na perspective for me. So, yun. Siguro parang we've talked about no na parang why do you stay in this work? Bakit kayo nagsimula? Sana yung iba't ibang apostolate, no, na ano. So ano pa yung hindi? Tanging Yaman Foundation, so age. Ay, galing nag-volunteer pa kayo last ayan. So check na din pala tayo. So, ICSI, ISO, shout out sa sino pa ba ang social apostolate na hindi nila napuntahan. Willing daw po sila every weekend na mag-volunteer. Siguro parang before we go to the closing question, no, parang bitin talaga pag-usapan in 1 hour si Ignatius. Feeling ko parang shinape talaga paminsan binibiro ko nga na parang sana hindi na lang ako naniwala kay Ignacio, mayaman. Feeling ko nabudol ako ni Ignacio kaya dito ako. So parang siguro parang paano nabibigyan sigla ng mga aral ni Ignacio ang inyong pagmimisyon, no? In doing this mission work, no, na we say na kanina pa natin paulit-ulit sinasabi na though it may be life-giving, pero sometimes really din siya no, frustrating. How does the teachings of Saint Ignatius or values and principle of Ignatius really give life in the mission work? Parang yan. And pwede din personally, no? Because sometimes nag-overlap na din siya na parang it also is then becomes your personal, So yun, sino? Parati sila nagtuturoan. I think mag-jack and point na tayo. Go, Roslyn.
I think kadugtong pa din nung nasabi ko na holistic siya, but I'll focus particularly on the companions, the people around, the people you find in the mission. To me, it's really important, no, coming from JBP. Sometimes, I remember when I was in a JBP, I don't have that much deep din, as to the deep context din as to what companions means, particularly when you're in the mission. Parang I see them as friends, yes. And fundamentally, ganun din pala talaga, no? You find friends in the mission.
Yeah.
Just like how Saint Ignatius took care also of his companions when he was assigned in Rome, and noting also that he created almost 7,000 letters to his
Dami
companions
pala.
all around the world. So, yung ganong pag-aalaga and pagtingin sa tao, hindi mo lang siya kasama sa mission, but also this person is someone you care for also. Kasi alam mo na you share the same love for God, you share the same values ultimately. So, yun, and I'm saying this thinking of the persons din I came along, that came along.
Sama ba kami doon?
I
think daw, hindi na siya sure.
Yeah, so, yun, parang, bumalik din siya sa akin because I'm taking grad school, no, sa Philo. Tapos parang, somehow we're talking about friendship, etc. Tapos ultimately, ang sinasabi is, the friendship that you have with the people who really have the same mission with you are the friendship that is something different na mas malalim talaga. So, yun, parang, to me, that's what I really value din being in this whole context of being in the Jesuit mission. The friends that I've met, the people around, and how they care for you habang ginagawa din yung mission. Yun, parang, it's practical in the way na you'd have friends din even outside the mission, pero it's really different when you find those friends in that mission, you feel some kind of connection beyond yourselves because you know you're connected to that one person, which is God. So, yun. To me, that's it.
Companions in the mission. Ay, ikaw, Ate D.
Copy-paste.
Ay, wala. Bawal copying today. Di ba, teacher? Teacher D, bawal ang kopya-kopya.
Actually, I would kasi agree with Roslyn. It's actually really the community, the friendship that you get from it. Parang when we were here, parang when we signed up for this social apostolates, who would have thought, diba, na we would meet each other, parang one another through JVP or
Are we
through...
happy we met each other? Another episode.
So it's actually really gaining a community na sharing this same mission, same values with the people you're with. May it be sa personal natin na buhay, sa bahay, sa komunidad at kung lahat na nakakagaan lang. Parang kumbaga bonus na din kasi siya na while we're doing this, we gain friendships, we gain family, we gain community na who would be with you, who would not judge you, who would not really...
Emergency contact.
Yes.
Ay, oo, diba?
Yeah, totoo, diba? Na parang nandyan sila lagi para sa'yo. So, and aside from those really, is really also another life-giving experience for me is the community I'm serving with, the people I'm with. Parang you have that connection, that relationship for them na the relationship doesn't end with my mission, but it continues even beyond. Na nakakatuwa lang like those I serve with in the person community, parang isa siguro, parang tinanong kasi ako dati, parang why do you want to serve in the person ministry? Kasi sila yung community na parang hindi makakabalik. Parang for me kasi parang if you're in a mission, parang they could give back and so on. Doon kasi parang ang hirap. Parang for me, yung bonus sa akin is makita sila na parang they have this like transformation in their own ways na makita sila sa labas. Nakakatuwa na may mga former PDLs I interact with, families of PDLs
kasi diba
na
parang yung PJPS
they have
naman,
scholarship program, formation,
ini-involve yung
families,
buong family.
formation for them na to see scholars graduating and now in a stable job and also volunteering. So kumbaga yun yung mga talagang life-giving for me. And also even yung mga IPs and other people I interact with, I serve with. So nakakatuwa lang na I also build relationship community, not just in the mission with my co-volunteers, with my co-pilgrims, but even those we serve in the social apostolate. So isang malaking, kumbaga, you're in a bigger family, you're in a bigger community. And even in my work, diba, parang we are doing this mission as well for our students, for the communities we're serving with in the different communities, and even sa colleagues and everyone. So nadadala mo siya because that's part of, yun nga, it's a way of life na we discern things, we find God in all the things that we do na it's not all really, hindi siya lahat madali na masaya ka lagi. Parang sometimes you drag your feet, sometimes it's really too hard, but because you are supported with these people in the mission, parang that's why I continue and with the mission. So yun siguro, parang the support.
Parang companions.
Yes,
Feeling ko parang
companions.
nakaka-relate talaga din ako dun no, sa sharing nyo. Kasi parang, especially siguro working in different political advocacies, no, na parang sobrang frustrating niya. Paminsan alam nyo parang, hindi mo, parang feeling mo tinatanggap mo din paminsan na it's never in the, kahit nagpa-planning kayo ng 3-year, feeling mo at some point parang, though you hope na sana ma-achieve to ng 3 years na pagbabago, pero parang may part din sa'yo na parang, matagal to mahaba to na laban, parang, kaya parang feeling ko nakarelate ako dun sa Companions in the Mission. Kasi at the end of the day, kung kahit gaano man to ka-frustrating, no, na parang kahit kaano katagal itong towards achieving reform in our country, etc. Parang, for me, as long as I know I'm not alone, I think parang, as long as, for example, no, when we go to any mobilization or when we do any advocacy work, every time we see that there are still people showing up, no, na parang sa kwento nyo nga naalala ko yung isang mobilization namin sa Bugsok, no, with when nag-hunger strike sila sa labas ng DAR. Sabi ni nanay, no, na parang wala nga kaming ibang ginawa doon eh. We just showed up. And parang feeling naiyak si nanay sa lalim ng pasasalamat niya that people were there. Na parang sabi nga niya na, ay, hindi pala kami mag-isa. I think parang really just even showing up na may kasama companions man sa mission or most especially in advocacy work, no, in the communities we serve. If people show up, people parang let you know that may kasama ka. I think sobrang laki ng impact na yun, no? So, siguro as we wrap things up, no, parang siguro, ano na lang mga final nyo na, parang why do we, i-wrap up mo, i-synthesize mo lahat ang pinag-usapan. Parang siguro, parang final na mga wrap up nyo on why really Ignatian or the life and teachings of Ignatius is really important in mission work. I think parang yun lang yung parang wrap up question, no? Ayan, nag-iisip siya parang malalim. For me, parang siguro personally, no? Ako na mauna kasi nagtuturuan tayo parate. Ako parang, for me, the Ignatius principles and teachings does not make sense if hindi siya na put into the context of mission work. For me, kasi parang kung pag-usapan na natin Ignatius in classrooms, parang yeah, gets. Parang ako din, first year ako nung college, parang yeah, gets, cannonball, etc. Memorize ko yan para hindi ako mabagsak sa midterms. Pero parang, I think when I saw it in communities, in political mission work, in advocacy, parang it made sense. So I think parang kaya importante na pinapag-usapan to because it made sense in a way na it guides you, it inspires you, it helps you shape up not just your faith but also your decisions, etc. And feeling ko mas nakita ko talaga siya in the community. So, or in political and advocacy work. Kaya feeling ko mahalaga siya na pinapalalim. Kasi if not for these teachings, I would just be an angry person. Parang feeling ko... kasi in political work, magagalit ka lang talaga, ano ba to? Frustrating siya, etc. Pero anger can only take you so much. But Ignatius and his teachings taught me a deeper kind of hugot na parang dahil, hindi lang na dahil galit ka. Nagalit ka dahil you're coming from a place of love. You're coming from a place of hope. You're coming from something deeper and because you saw God in all of these circumstances. Kaya siguro, feeling ko I would just be an angry person in the online and even in work. But Ignatius helped me really see it in a different light. Ignatius talaga na nag-usap kami. yung turo niya, I think yun siya. Kaya for me, mahalaga talaga siya na in all ways. At kailangan siya parating pag-uusapan just to also remind us. Kayo?
Siguro before I answer, balikan ko lang yung parang paano siya naging life-giving for us. 'Di ba parang kung babalikan natin, it is like we have companions. Like Ignatius has companions, even Jesus, 'di ba? He has disciples na kasama niya. So in the same manner, parang the teachings of the Ignatian spirituality, the teachings of Saint Ignatius and his companions really helped me. Same with you, deepen my faith because way back I used to discern to become religious life. Pero pwede pa lang hindi kailangan pwede pa lang hindi kailangan, to enter into a religious life to serve and to be in a mission. And through living out these values, this Ignatian spirituality in our personal lives, in our mission, in our work, you can still serve God and be with him and become instruments of his love. And naging parte na siya ng buhay ko na, di ba, parang at the end of the day, we also try to examine, okay, mabuti ba yung ginawa ko? Did I do these things for His glory? Or parang it becomes part of me na even when we talk with friends na parang we also discern kasi nga we are in the same parang circle, same mission, same social apostolates we serve with. So, nakakataba ng puso na may kasama ko, especially for us, we're far from our family.
Yeah.
But having this, really having you as
Community.
companions, having this community, and having these values makes us really help me to become a better person, to deepen my faith. Nakakatuwa na, di ba, parang dito din sa community, at even the social apostolates, we were able to serve Him in any way. And ang ano din naman doon is, whatever you can offer. Parang God doesn't ask much. Parang whatever you can offer, because it's also important that we take care of ourselves while we also take care of others. So yun siguro yung pabaon.
Ayan, ikaw. Closing message talaga. So, synthesis dapat to.
I guess to me, it helps me because in the most essential way, it puts me on the ground. Parang
grounding.
whenever we would think of the mission, sometimes it takes you to the very far away place and time.
Oo.
But with St. Ignatius way, na nag-examine tayo, we're invited to feel our emotions, we're invited to be present sa mga taong kaharap natin because they're companions, they are our friends. With that, it allows me to be in the present more. And sometimes the invitation is not really the big events, to not really, it's not really in the big grand events, no. But to me, it's always in the everyday, in the daily strivings that we do for the communities that we are in, for the people around us, sa mga simpleng bagay, to the animals we meet also. Yun, to me, it grounds me whenever I would think of it, and whenever I get reminded of that sometimes the most important time and place is really the present and the now. And we are always invited to respond to what's being asked of you in that time and space at present. So, yun, para lang mas simple. Sometimes we can really get overwhelmed with the bigger problems in the society that sometimes hindi rin natin mapangalanan, no, ano yung problema.
Kasi overwhelming na din
It can be
siya.
amorphous in so many ways. But we are always presented with the real, with the concrete, with the people around us. And that there's always an invitation. So yun, kaya nating tugunan. Yun, I guess yun yung pinaka-gift din or pinaka-makukuha ko din sa Ignatian spirituality, sa lessons din ni St. Ignatius. To always be in the everyday, thanks to the examen talaga.
Ayun, so grounding, no? Ang ganda din nun. So yun, no, I think there's really more to really just talk about how Ignatius has inspired really our lives, no? And Ignatian spirituality and all of this values, principle, and way of proceeding. Pero parang kulang tayo sa time. So parang pwede naman nating mapagkwentuhan in all other ways. So thank you so much to our guests, no, sa pagkwento at pag-ungkat ng inyong mga puso at kwento sa Kwentuhang Bayan for today. At ini-invite namin ang lahat for this Sunday, no, as we celebrate and remember the life of St. Ignatius. So may province mass 3 p.m. May reminders po sa PH Jesuits na page. So pwede po kayong pumunta doon at may mga reminders and mga invitations, no? And we invite all our partners in the mission. And of course, shout out sa ating mga partners in the mission that we have really journeyed with for the past decade. Matatawag past decade. Parang matanda na pala tayo. Ayan, so, and of course, no, mag-isa ako ngayon kasi ang aking kasama ay birthday niya ngayon. So, happy birthday, Joshua! So, ayan, birthday lunch or naka-birthday leave. Happy birthday to our youngest sa SLB. Happy birthday sa constant ng RK namin na, host na si Josh. Ayan. So, bago natin tapusin ang programa, no, nagpapasalamat kami sa Radyo Katipunan na sumusuporta sa Kuwentuhang Bayan na mapapakinggan ninyo sa 87.9 FM sa 2-kilometer radius ng Ateneo de Manila University dito sa Quezon City. Kaya suportahan at sundan nyo din ang kanilang Facebook, Instagram, X at Radyo Katipunan. At may online streaming din, no, sa kanilang mga programa sa Facebook, YouTube at Zeno. So ayan, at of course sa SLB din, no, meron din kaming booth at different social apostolate pala, no, sa Sunday ay may mga kanya-kanyang booth sa province mass. So get to know more of the social apostolate, the mission, and the Jesuits, no, on Sunday. So, nandun po kami sa entire Mass or even before Mass. So, kita-kits po tayo 3 p.m. At huwag kalimutan i-like ang Facebook page ng Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan, facebook.com/slb.ph. At maaari din kayong mag-subscribe sa aming SLB Weekly, ang libre at opisyal na newsletter ng SLB na nagsisilbing parang recap po siya ng nagbabagang balita for the month at go.slb.ph/subscribe. So, at magbibigay po kami sa Sunday ng hard copy, official copies din po, no, if you want to read it really as like a newspaper ng aming SLB na monthly subscription na Simbahayan. Parang hindi ko talaga napopronounce ng maayos. Simbahayan. So, pwede po kayong kumuha ng inyong copies, official copies sa province mass, no? At dito po nagtatapos ang isang natatanging episode ng Kuwentuhang Bayan, ang official radio show ng Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan, kung saan lahat ng kwento at may kwenta. So maraming salamat sa ating mga kakwentuhan at magkita-kita tayo sa susunod na episode ng Kuwentuhang Bayan. So maraming salamat po. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, friend.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan, ang social-political apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kuwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at